Y'all sounded really good tonight, by the way.
Thank you.
That was nice. How has y'all sound evolved?
We started and we wanted to do like egg punk type shit, and then we kind of just like came in with riffs and they weren't egg punk, so we just went along with that. And then when we recorded the album and stuff, we listened to it and we just didn't really want to write stuff like that anymore. Mm-hmm. So we've kind of done like emotional hardcore stuff. We've all just kind of I think all of our music taste has kind of changed too. So we want to do what we listen to and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Very different tuning.
Very different tunings. Expand on that. What all did you use? A standard tuning to start?
Yeah, the whole, and the first time was just in standard, and then like we played like we played 3 with an extra one off the album today, but the other like 3, 4 were all just like in FACGCE, which is just like they said they wanted emo stuff, so I know that American Football is like a Midwestern. That's just like one of the bands I like, so I just did their tuning because I know some of their songs, and then I just learned how to use it.
For sure.
And then you just write songs. There's only like a couple chords that you can really. It's just very open. So there's like 3 chords that I like know of, maybe 4. So all the songs are just with those chords. But the first album's all power chords anyway, so I don't think it really matters.
And this is Jack speaking, by the way. What was your first guitar?
My friend got like a Squier Strat and like a little shitty like little preamp from his uncle, and like didn't play it, so I took it, and because I had played bass before that, and then I had to give that back. But I learned like how to play like Nirvana and Black Flag songs on that, and then I got a Squier Jaguar because it had a whammy bar on it.
Could you run me through your pedal board?
Right now I'm just using Dane Electro Fab Chorus. It's like a very, very cheap, but it's like, I don't know, it sounds good. I like it. I used to just use like my DS1 distortion pedal, but now I'm using it's called Jekyll and Hyde. What is it? What's the fucking...
Jekyll and Hyde.
No, what's the company?
Fuck. No fucking idea.
Anyways, it's like it has like a V. It has a big V on the buttons, but it's a fucking overdrive and a distortion pedal in one. So I can kind of just like crank that. And a band I really like, they use that. So I found that at a Bookman's, so I bought that.
Hell yeah.
Good.
What, you have any delays or any reverb craziness?
I have like a DD3 delay, but I've been trying to like factor that in, but I only recently kind of learned how to use it, and I didn't use it for this show. I've been using it at home a lot. I've been just using only that pedal at home to try and learn how to use it.
For sure. So guitar tonight, and
I'm using Xander's. Xander was gifted a lot of my guitar stuff is just like borrowed, or like, so like none of my cables. I've never bought any of my cables. Like I don't think I've ever bought a guitar cable. Like never. I've done like daisy chains and power supplies, but never guitar cables. So all my guitar cables are from Xander, who's a drummer, and then the drummer. Yeah, that one broke. Yeah. Oh, I guess I did buy that one technically. Yeah, so that one got stepped on. And then Xander gave me my fucking cabinet is just a crate, and Xander was gifted it, even though he plays drums. And so that was just sitting in his room, so I used that. And then my guitar head is a Mesa Boogie amp, but it's like 50 years old, and I blew out the speaker, like our like 4th practice.
Oh wow!
So, but it's also a head combo, so technically it's a head. So I just use a speaker cable and connect the two.
There you go.
So yeah, sounds pretty good. Yeah, Lou Reed amp.
And the telly.
The telly, this is my first show. I've had that telly for like a year and a half probably, and that's just like I like most of the songs that like I've written for like our stuff. They've all been on that because I leave my guitar that I usually use at the practice space. But for every other show other than this, I've used I have an Eastwood. It's called an Eastwood Flying Banana, and it's like just very weird. And it's like super cool. Like it looks so cool, and like I love it. But it's just got like 2 very shitty like single pickups in it, and it kind of just sounds like shit. Especially if you use anything other than the bridge pickup. It sounds like shit. So I started using the telly today.
How do you like to incorporate feedback into y'all's music? Because I hear it a lot.
Yeah, in between.
It was like not even
No, it wasn't. Like
It was kind of crazy.
we try and do it like in between songs now because we used to just literally just stop after every song, and it's like
as a
I feel like when we see bands and they do that, I feel like it's so like just awkward. I think it's just completely awkward.
for sure.
And then like our second song, it's more of like us playing for like 3 minutes, and then Love comes in for like the last like minute 20. It's supposed to have like at the practice space, I'm able to get like feedback with that because I use it like in between like my 2 chords that I play for that song in the beginning. I use it, but it has never worked like live. I've never been like it's very inconsistent. So now I just do like a little harmonic thingy. But I try and use it in songs because it's cool and bands that use feedback are cool. But it's hard.
I think that concludes you. Thank you very much.
Go Jack.
Thank you.
Again, Brady, I must get back to you. So, what all do you have going on?
I have like a cheap little crate bass cabinet I found on OfferUp because I used to have like a big ass PV one and it was super fucking annoying to take to places. And then I have a PV like I think series like 400 head.
Okay.
I found it at a pawn shop. It's like 70s, I think. I found it at a pawn shop. I got it like cleaned out and shit.
Nice.
So I use that. and then I literally only use a tuning pedal. I don't use any other pedals because the amp head has like built-in distortion and stuff. And I have a T20 bass, another PV T20 bass. It's not like I think it's like 78 PV T20, 1978 PV T20. It's really I was super excited about that. I found it on OfferUp from like an old dude.
That's what's up. Do you have any tricks whenever you're recording? Bass, if any? You don't?
No, not really. I was mostly a guitar player until I like picked up bass, just because most bands need a bass player, and there's already so many guitar players.
Sure.
So I picked up bass for playing in bands and stuff. So I don't know a lot about it, but
he's very good at guitar though. He's like he's very good at bass as well. It's very awesome.
Oh yeah, what kind of strings do you use?
What type of strings do you use?
I use them Ernie Ball Slinkies, buddy. That's
all.
What
color?
The green one, the green packaging, but the weird piss-colored strings. That's it. Rusted.
Have you ever tried the color-coded strings?
No.
The color ones?
Brady should get those for bass.
Yeah, I've seen like rainbow ones. They're awesome. Pride strings.
Pride strings. Now you have to do.
I have no idea what type of strings I use, by the way. This bass came with strings on it, and they're probably super. Yeah, they're probably. Yeah, they're like they sound like dead. Like they don't sound that good either. So I need to change the strings. I just like haven't done it.
Man, honestly,
Strings are expensive though.
have you ever tried flat wound strings?
I've heard about them. I know like people have like their preference and stuff. I don't really know.
What is that? What is flat wound?
It's okay. So it's for some reason it's just really smooth. They don't have grooves in the strings. It's for you.
Zandog.
Do you have any drumming tricks for recording purposes? Better
for recording specifically. If you can't get your hands on good cymbals, then you're kind of screwed. Because if you use like cheap, shitty cymbals on recordings, you can hear it like really bad. I recorded our last album on Mino Custom Darks, which I have now cracked all of them, so I don't use them anymore. But they sounded really good on the record, even if I don't like the record that much, but the cymbals sounded great. So I just say use good cymbals, and then don't let recording affect how you play. Play the same way that you play it live.
For sure. So do you care to run through your drum kit?
Oh yeah.
If it's
so I didn't bring it because we all use the house kit this show.
Exactly.
But I usually run. I forget my sizes. I know I have a 22 kick, with an Evans. I think it's called calf tone, front head. Shut up. And an Aquarian triple threat. I think. It's like 2 or 3 ply. It's very punchy. And then I use a pork pie BOB or BB. I don't know.
BB.
It says like B, pig face B. And that's a 14 by 7 and then I use a 14 tom and a 16 floor tom. And then right now I'm running 15-inch AA hats, a 19-inch AA crash, a 20-inch AA ride, and then my Meinl dark my Meinl dark ride that's also 20-inch. That's the only one that hasn't cracked so far, so I'm using it right now as a crash.
Do you have any pedals that you like to record with or use live in the
DS1?
I use I think I have DW 300s right now, just like shitty. The way I bought my kit was I bought some old dude's like Neil Peart fucking recreation kit,
Oh, wow.
and it was all made out of cheap ass drums like Tama Superstars and Gig Makers. So right now I just play the Gig Makers, but he had a bunch of shit that like it's kind of mid. So I've been playing drums my whole life. My first drum kit I got when I was 2 years old.
Have you ever played at any like prestigious colleges by any chance?
So I actually, so I was not a young age. I
5 years old.
I did stuff with ASU for a while. I did like jazz
When
stuff.
they were not in college,
When I was not in college.
Best drummer.
I'm not that good of a drummer. I think I was like 15. But
So
I
good.
You're
So good.
Whiplash guy.
I did a lot of jazz. Jazz helps a lot, and also marching band and concert band in high school.
that
Talent
definitely
up
helps.
in here.
Big time.
Okay. Well, thank you, Xandog.
Yeah.
Love, do you have any recording tricks for your voice? Do you have anything you like to do?
Just for shows too. I don't like to scream, like practice the screams before I do it, cause it's like fresh, kind of, like raw, I guess.
You walk around when you record vocals.
You do.
Right?
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't.
You had to
Oh,
hold the
when
mic.
you were recording for the album, didn't you want to walk around?
Oh, I guess so. I didn't notice. I like moving and going on the ground, but this is not really a trick. It just kind of, I like holding the microphone because it makes me feel less self-conscious about how I look when I scream. 'Cause I probably look stupid.
Y'all put on a hell of a show.
Thank you
I
so
saw,
much.
I saw a few shows ago.
Thank you
I
so
don't remember
much.
where it was, but it was great.
Thank you.
And your performance was
Thank you.
like on the ground,
Thanks.
sprawling and shit. It was
Thank
great.
you.
I heard a lot of reverb or whatever that was on the microphone. Is that a usual thing for you?
No, that wasn't my PA. I don't do any when we practice. And my personal preference, it's also the album too. We don't have any effects on them. I don't really like. We tried it on the record, but I didn't like it at all. I didn't know it was on there. I don't mind if it's during shows. If we're using someone's PA, I don't mind. I totally don't mind or anything. It's like totally not doesn't matter. But just like usually I like the rawness and the raspiness and the realness of fucking no FX. No
Sure.
I love
FX.
no effects.
I don't know.
No, I don't.
Because it's like screaming and crying, and I don't want to be like, whoa. And it's like, wow.
For sure. The cramp slap back gets a little old eventually.
For real.
Well, I think that concludes it. Thank y'all very much.
Thank you.
Great show tonight, and future luck and everything.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.